system performance. So things that we rarely care about. Right? So we have something called Windows Update, right? And we just let the update happen, and it does some updates. Nobody knows what's happening, what is the update for. Okay? So you may have a security update or an update for a particular application, update regarding Windows Store apps. See, these are not that famous things, okay? But since you are studying Microsoft book, it's there. So you know that by default you will have some apps. Like say for example, if you have a PDF file, the app, the Microsoft Windows has its default app for reading the PDF file. So you have some default programs for every kind of application. So if you want to change those things, you can change it. Windows key and I. What is Windows key and I? Yeah, that's settings. So you can go to the change PC settings. You should find app updates. So that's the updates specific to apps. We don't have anything called app updates. I think it's update and recovery. Same Windows update. Same thing. Okay, the same thing that we used to check using the system properties dialog box. Here we are checking using the charts. It's no different.
So change these settings. That was updated. So nobody ito pa yung dalawa yung dito sa yung dati yung yung hindi na kailangan settings para makasig sa advanced settings. Kaya paano talaga siya? Meron siya siguro na configure sa
they are saying here it's not here. Will automatically update any my app slider from yes to no. Means if there are any updates for the apps, whether you want to update it automatically or not. Okay. Because you know that these apps, they are basically like your Android phone. You download from the Android Play Store, right? And then the app is getting installed. If the author has any update of that, then it should the same thing. You can also do through the group policy. This is the quick setting. Turn off automatic update and install of updates. Okay. And that's for the store, that is Windows Store. This is specifically for the Windows Store apps. Okay, not for the Windows operating system. So Windows Store apps and Windows operating system, they are slightly differentiated. And we know about this one, right? Update settings. How you want to do the update, whether you want to do the update or not. So from the system properties, we have the Windows update, change settings. So it's the same things. It's nothing new.
change settings. Windows supposed to be
You will also get the update history, right?
Yes.
So it will tell you when the update happened, to what application or to what section the update is applicable. Normally you get updates like Windows Defender, like Windows Defender is the antivirus, built-in antivirus Windows. So that needs to be updated every now and then. So you can roll back the updates. Roll back is basically like you don't want to uninstall it. The update can happen through different stages. Stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. If you just uninstall the update, you update the whole update. Okay, if you just want to roll back to the previous stage, you can also do that. Like say for example, initially when you install the OS, you had IE8, then update 1 happened, IE10 came, and then update 2, IE11 came. Right. So if you just roll back, it will go back to 10, okay, rather than going back to the 8. So all those options will be here. View update history. Select that. You can click on this install updates. So you have the uninstall option. Similarly, you should have the rollback option also. The rollback option. I think it's applicable only for some updates. It's applicable only for particular updates, okay? Only the update which happens through stages. We don't have any updates, any such updates here. So one thing you have to know is your Windows operating system is in constant touch with the Microsoft server. The Microsoft server exactly knows what are the softwares that you have in your computer. Okay, let's say for example here I have an update for SQL Server 2012. So this applies only for the computer that has SQL Server 2012. If the computer doesn't have SQL Server 2012, then you will not have that update. So Microsoft knows that you have SQL Server installed in your computer. So softwares individually also communicate with the server. There are some group policy settings also regarding the updates, regarding how to shut down. Sometimes it will forcibly shut down. It will give you some time. You have to shut down. You have to restart for some updates. Okay, regarding these things, do not display install update shut down. Do not adjust default option. Install update and shut down. How many days you can schedule the update, the restart, all these settings. Okay, so all those things for us it's not that critical. Update is a very soft area. Because for us, restarting or shutdowning is not going to make much difference. You are not going to lose anything because of restarting. Maybe your process may get closed. You can just again turn it on and restore the process. Right? And then regarding storage, there is disk volumes, disk partitions, partition style. You have seen this one before also, right? I think we added some hard disk and we tried strip to volume, span to volume, mirror to volume. So basically, so we have disk and then we have disk volumes, right? So disk means it's like one device, one hard disk, we say. Okay, one hard disk. And then that hard disk can be divided into volumes, or you can say sectors. And partition style, the way you divide the volumes, okay, the style of dividing it can be either MBR or GPT. There are two styles. Remember when we install a new hard disk, we can ask what partition style you want, MBR or GPT. GPT is the new one. Okay, MBR, like if you have any old operating systems, GPT will not support. Okay, then you have to choose MBR. But otherwise, GPT is good enough. MBR, it supports up to, there are some differences, you see, up to 2 TB, okay, up to either 4 partitions, 4 primary partitions, or 3 primary partitions, 1 extended. Okay, there are differences. So that's 2 TB. 2 TB is the limit for MBR. If you have a hard disk above 2 TB, you cannot use MBR partition. You have to go for GPT partition. See, it's very high, 18 exabytes. That's huge. Exabytes. It's beyond terabyte, right? Terabyte is exabyte. 18 exabytes. So you have partition style, that is MBR, and you have partition types that can be primary, extended. And then you have volume types, that is simple, span, strip, mirror. Okay, volume types determine how the data is stored. Okay, how the data is stored. So partition type and partition, how partition is made. Now this is directly regarding the data. Simple as usual, you just store the data. Okay, span, strip, mirror. These are regarding. These are basically the ways to prevent a hard disk failure. We have seen it, right? Mirror means if you have a 500 GB hard disk, you need another 500 GB hard disk just to mirror it. Right. So if you lose one hard disk, you have another hard disk, right? So same thing. RAID volume, right? Yeah. Strip, you just scramble the data and then you just throw it here and there. Mix it. Okay? Just strip and mix it. So that if you lose one piece of data, the other piece of data can be found out from the original piece. Okay, using some logic. Span, if you want to span across 2 disks, you have a volume that will cover the other disk also. Normally volume comes under one disk. If you want to cover the other disk also, span around, span volumes. And you have file systems, FAT, FAT32, exFAT, NTFS. NTFS is the latest. This is the software. File system is the software. When you are copying, moving, opening, there is some software, right? There should be some software. Like you are browsing, you have a browser. It's like that for doing file system activities. Copy, paste, move, open, extract. Okay, all these things require software. That software is NTFS, New Technology File System. And we have created VHDs, right? Virtual hard disks also. Right? Virtual hard disk. Actually, virtual hard disk is nothing new for us, because when you make a hard disk in VMware, it is actually a VHD. Because VMware itself is virtual. It's not new for us. Because we are already in a virtual environment. Disk management. And you have seen disk cleanup, check disk defragmenter. You have seen this thing, right? These things will improve the performance of the hard disk. You know how to shrink a volume, how to make a new volume, how to extend a volume. I think we have done 2-3 times, right? Disk part, you know the disk part command, right? So the same, whatever you are doing using disk management, you can also using the command disk part. Disk part, list disk, select disk, list volume, then format quick, some of the commands. So why we have? Because this is like when you are in a repair mode, you won't have the graphics. Okay? So you need to know the commands. That's why we have the disk part.
Hindi kasi pag basic user ka, hindi mo ma-access yung ibang ano doon disk management.
Windows 7.
O ata, yung ultimate lang yung available sa
Windows 7. Hindi mo tayo
namin. At available sa event as yung parang kung basic lang yung deliver.
The next topic is about performance. How do you monitor performance? Okay. Not improving performance, just monitoring performance. Again, Windows side is a client operating system. Nobody cares about the performance here. Okay, we care about the performance, but nobody monitors the performance. There is no question of why. Right? Like if your computer is slow, we just say slow and then we just try to upgrade the RAM or we just change the computer. We don't analyze why is the computer slow. Maybe something is making a bottleneck. We don't care about those things, right? But still, you have options to analyze the performance. You can find out why, which resource is taking too much memory, too much hard disk, too much network, or too much CPU cycles. So you can figure it out. So normally we use Task Manager, right? And normally we use Task Manager when something is not responding, it's freezed. So what do? We press Control or Delete, and we take Task Manager and Task. So we can, instead of doing Control or Delete, we can also do Control Shift Escape. You can see Control Shift Escape, that will also give the Task Manager. As you can see here, we have seen this thing, but I'll just tell you. So these are the apps, background, so these are the apps, okay, background processes. Okay, so apps can be associated with the background process. Let's say this is Adobe Reader, we have a corresponding background process. Okay, so every app will have a background process, but every background process need not have an app. Okay, it may just be working. Let's say for this NVIDIA, it's something regarding graphics. It doesn't have an app running. Physically, you're not seeing it. A lot of NVIDIA or Apple, something regarding printer, SQL, a lot of SQL things, things. And these are Windows processes regarding the Windows. And you can see here memory 44%, and it's sortable. You click on once, you click it's I think it's in ascending order. You can change to ascending, descending. So when you click this, you can see here this thing. Okay, relevant of whether it is app or process. This thing is using more memory. So what is this Oracle RDB, this kernel executable? I'm talking about my computer. Your computer is maybe totally different. So I want to know what is this. Okay, I'm not using this Oracle. So why is this taking more memory here? This is slowing down my. So let me right click on this. Open file location. Let me see what is the software is about. Okay, open file location. So it is in C drive, Oracle exe app, Oracle product server. What is this thing? I don't need this one at all. It's not even a software. Software should be in program files, right? Okay, so if I think I don't need it, I can simply what? Terminate it. Okay, I'm just going to terminate it. And task. And I'm going to delete it from here. Don't need this. Okay, why I terminate it is because it's not part of any program. So no programs are not going to be affected by this. This is, I don't know how it came here. This is something that is not installed. So this is another way of finding the viruses, hacking tools and all. And the other thing is SQL Server. So I This is, you see, this is inside the program files. I cannot delete this one because this is installed as. You have to uninstall it from the control panel. You just delete it from here, that will corrupt the program. Program will be there, but it will not work. So you have to properly uninstall from the control panel.
Relational database system is basta SQL RDB relation.
That's the way that we're ginagawa yung mga natin. Wala. Ano pinakatap mo? From version.
I can go to the details. Now if I go go to the details, it will show you either under the details, it will directly take you to the details tab. Show you. So this is a valid one, but I don't need it now. I'm not using SQL Server now, right? But SQL Server is client server architecture. Now SQL Server automatically starts in a computer starts whether you use it or not. Why? It's because it's a client server architecture. So it can be a server, other clients can be using it. So if I exit from here, the client will not be able to use the server, SQL Server. Okay. But in our classes, we don't use server, right? Every computer is both client and server. So I don't want this SQL Server to get started anymore. So I can end it now for now, but again if I restart, it will come back again. Adobe is fine. Now, so you can check from the startup. These are startup programs, okay? What are the programs? So most of them are disabled. Make sure this is enabled. Clean, that will clean the temp files and all. And regarding apps are not working at all. There is only one user. You have services, you know these services, right? These are background programs. A lot of services. You can only see them. If you want to change anything, you can start it off. If you want to change anything, you can go to the control panel, global services. If, let's say for example, those SQL Server kind of things you see, I have stopped it. If I go to the properties, I cannot go to the properties because I have to go to the control panel. See, open services. And if I, what is the service name? SQL Server, right? And this. Here, this one is automatic. That's why SQL Server is getting automatically started. You don't want to start automatically, you can go to properties and you can say, you can disable it, but you can say manual or automatically get started. So it will not get started and affect the memory if you don't need it. So if you need to start SQL Server, you have to manually start. These kind of things. So when you install SQL Server, automatically, because it is a client server model, it becomes automatic because the system knows that it has to be automatic. But in our case, we don't want it, so I just make it manual. So those kind of things. If you are to add something to your startup, you can also add from here, file, new task. We saw the other way, right? You can go to the C drive app data folder and you can go to the Microsoft. There is a startup folder, you can put anything in there. You can also do this way. Regarding performance, this is your performance dashboards. Same things. It shows the network usage, disk usage, memory usage, CPU usage. It's very normal. You also have resource monitor, video computer, graphic computer, which item is getting more resource. Now it is threads, right? These are all CPU terms. Threads. Program is one bundle. Inside the program you have a lot of functions. Programs are made up of functions, right? That's threads. Functions. How many functions you have? Different functions. So these are all the area of for studying computer forensics. So if you want to find out any abnormalities or any problems with the computer, you have to know. Like, people will know that what is this thing, what is this file is about, what is it doing, what is this file is about. All the common things. They know all the common operating system, they know. So they know that this is not a problematic one. Now one thing that you can do for improving performance is indexing. You know what is indexing, right? You have studied in SQL Server. Anywhere you do indexing, indexing is for improving the performance, the speed of searching. Okay? Only when you are searching something. Like when you search in a book, if you have index, you can search fast. You can go to the point for the same thing. Index. The indexing options. You get indexing options. So I think by default everything will be indexed, included locations. Yeah, so these things are indexing complete. Start menu is indexing complete. That means when you type something, search something in start menu, it comes faster. Okay, because it has been indexed. So if you want to add something to the indexes, what you can do? You can simply go to advanced, index and go to file types. And we add things. So these are the file types that are indexed, all the formats. If you want to add a particular location, yeah, you can add it from the application. You want to add C drive also for index. So the entire C drive will be indexed. Okay. So this index, it has its own value, it has its own price. So it's something like, let's say for example, you will be, so the thing that you will index will be the thing that you will use for searching often. So let's say you will always search something in E drive. Okay, there are millions of files in E drive. You will always do the searching in E drive. It's better you index E drive. So you check the E drive and then you just index them. So your searching will be faster. That's the point. But if you're not going to, right now you're not going to search anything in E drive, right? Rarely you, sometimes. So we don't need to index anything. It will take a lot of time to index. It's like you have a book. If somebody is giving you a book without an index page, and you have to make the index page, it will take some time, right? You have to find out all the topics, note on the page numbers. Same things. The indexing speed is very useful to mouse this thing. You know about logs, right? System logs, event logs, control panel. Okay, anything happens on the computer, it's been logged. And then there are categories: information, error, warnings, critical verbose. So different categories. Windows logs.
When we open the browser, the other
Yeah, when you now it depends when you open the browser whether it will be logged, when you download something it will be logged, or when you copy something it will be logged. It depends. Okay, there are some default settings, like if the password is failed, it will log. If you do I don't know what other things, it will be logged. Something like this. If a new update comes, it will be logged. If there is an update failure, it will be logged. These kind of things will happen. The virus, if there is a virus, it will be logged. Okay, but you can also say that log a particular thing. Like you can say whenever a browser is crashed, you want to log, or whenever a download is stopped, you want to log. You can also do that. Okay, but you have to write programs for that, I think. So if I go and check, you can see whether we can do that. See, there is this XML. I think we have done this one, right? XML, you can write things in XML and you can say that.
for the paint.
Yeah, that's for event viewer or event scheduler. So you can say event log. As you can say, it's event based. It doesn't come here. You have to go to control panel. Type log or event log. This will be in applications, security, setup, forwarded events. For applications like remember PRTG, we used PRTG for network monitoring, so that creates a separate one. PRTG, Windows PowerShell, any Microsoft applications. BitLocker. You can also subscribe to an event. Subscribing to an event is yeah. Any event you can subscribe, but you need to start a particular service or something.
Ini the drop down now.
Changes.
try, like whenever you open a particular software, an event should be logged. We have already tried this. If I open the browser or if I open a notepad, how it can be logged. We used to make a trigger, right?
Paano ba natin buksan yung yung domain ng meron external na yun? Hindi kita reserve na yung modify natin.
Okay, let's try something simple. Like whenever you open a notepad, you want to record that event. You must log the event like notepad file, notepad open. Okay, and you also want to trigger something. You want to open the WordPad also, or the paint also.
Open WordPad?
Now, if you open Notepad, WordPad will also open,
Yeah.
and the event should also be recorded. Just try. It should be easy because I think we have done this one before also. Yeah, I can explain.
I forgot na.